So after the MAGA Republicans finally got what they wanted, what they've been demanding, now they realize, wait a minute, we need to create another conspiracy so that we can keep the grift going. So you have Hunter Biden is found guilty. He's convicted by a jury. We at the MeidasTouch Network, we respect the verdict of a jury that convicted him. We respect the jury system. But the MAGA Republicans said, wait a minute, doesn't this cut against all of our weaponization of the Justice Department grift that we've been doing? And we've been saying, oh, the Justice Department's weaponized and giving sweetheart deals against Hunter Biden and going after Donald Trump and MAGA. But now, wait a minute. So the Department of Justice under President Biden prosecuted Hunter Biden, the president's son, and then he got convicted of felonies? Like, how is that going to play out? So here's where they went. Stephen Miller says, the gun charges are a giant misdirection, an easy op for DOJ to sell to a pliant media that is all too willing to be duped. Don't be gaslit. This is all about protecting Joe Biden and only Joe Biden. You see, according to Stephen Miller, the DOJ is running election interference for Joe Biden by prosecuting Hunter Biden. That's why the DOJ did not charge Hunter with being an unregistered foreign agent or any crime connected with foreign corruption. Why? Because all of the evidence would lead back to Joe. DOJ is Joe's election racket, election protection racket. That's what they're going with. They get their orders from the top. Donald Trump puts out a statement and Don Jr. reposts it and says, the trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family. So this isn't even important. This was just a distraction, they say. Vivek Ramaswamy says, I've said it before. I'll say it again. The Hunter Biden trial was a sham. It's a smokescreen to legitimize the Trump conviction and to deflect attention from the Biden's family's actual crimes, selling off our foreign policy to make their family rich. Don't fall for it, they say. You see, President Biden wanted the Department of Justice to prosecute his son and have his son convicted of a felony to distract from the conviction of Donald Trump by state prosecutors. To distract from what? No, they don't even make sense. Blake Masters, right-wing propagandist, politician goes, Hunter Biden made millions of dollars as an unregistered foreign agent, but the DOJ doesn't want you to focus on that. So they gave him a smaller firearms charge just so the Democrats can claim nobody is above the law while covering for the Biden's corruption. This is a cabal. This is a hoax. The Hunter Biden trial, they say, is rigged to help President Biden by having his son convicted of felonies. That's called MAGA illogic. That's everything to them is a hoax, rigged, conspiracy, unfair, cheating, cabal. That's who MAGA is. As Bradley Moss, renowned lawyer, said, okay, so Trump's special counsel prosecuted Hunter Biden to protect Joe Biden. Michael Cohen, not the Michael Cohen who I host a podcast with, another Michael Cohen journalist said, I'm legitimately amused by the idea that the MAGA Republicans want us to think that Joe Biden is sitting around the Oval Office thinking about how to cover up his many alleged crimes. And he goes to his aides, here's what I need you to do. Call Merrick Garland. Call Merrick Garland. Give them Hunter. Give them Hunter. Prosecute my son. That's what we need to do. Because, look, Trump sent his press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, and she claims that not only does Hunter Biden's conviction fail to undercut MAGA's weaponization conspiracy theories, but it's, you guessed it, a hoax, a distraction. It shows everything is rigged, according to the MAGA illogic right here. Play this clip.
Many on the left, they're now saying that the verdict is proof President Joe Biden has not weaponized the Justice Department against his enemies. On the other hand, Republicans, they strongly disagree, saying this case is misdirection to avoid going after Hunter for more serious charges of being an unregistered foreign agent. What do you think about that?
Well, I agree that this entire trial has been a major distraction from the real crimes of the corrupt Biden crime family.
And here she is again. Let me show you this clip. Play it.
And this gun trial has been a major sideshow from the Department of Justice to distract from those real crimes and to dupe the American people into believing we have an equal system under law. We absolutely do not. And if we did, President Trump would never have been charged with the crimes that all of these Democrat prosecutors across the country are bringing against him.
Hey, Ben Meiselas here from the MeidasTouch Network. I hope you're enjoying that video. I just wanted to give you an update on some important news about the climate. I know it's something that we don't talk enough about on the MeidasTouch Network, and I always hear from you, Ben, can you just give some updates and focus on this very important issue? So I want to start doing that a little bit. So here's an update that I think is important. Did you know that young people across the country, thousands of them, are going to be starting jobs working for the American Climate Corps this month? President Biden's new climate jobs program is putting young people to work starting this summer. Jobs like firefighters, lawn busters, urban farm fellows, traditional ecological knowledge stewards, young people working on food security or energy conservation issues in cities. Other young people will be tackling invasive species and stream restoration on public land. Look, we talk a lot on the MeidasTouch Network about jobs, jobs, jobs. And when we can create new jobs and help the environment, that is a perfect match. So one of the places you can go to get more news on this, where I go to get more news on this, go to acc.gov. It's the official site for the American Climate Corps. If you're a young person or you know young people who may be interested in getting one of these types of jobs, have them just go to acc.gov. It's a great resource. So anyway, I hope you enjoy these climate updates. I'm going to be doing more of them, but let's go back to the video that you're currently watching. Let's play it. So then Fox had like a little bit of a slight adjustment to that because they're still unclear what their marching orders are about whether Donald Trump's going to debate or not. As I said, there's no way Trump's going to debate. So they try to coach him, right? They try to like coach him what to do. So now Donald Trump can say at the debate that even though he's a convicted felon, that President Biden's son is a convicted felon. Here, watch who Fox has show up. Here, play this clip.
Times opinion editor Charlie Hurt for more on this. Charlie, I guess this afternoon kind of takes away the arrow that President Biden had in his quiver for the upcoming debate where he could refer to Donald Trump as a, quote, convicted felon and not expect that he was going to get it right back at him.
Yeah, it certainly does make it a lot sloppier for their best laid efforts to hang that title on President Trump.
As Aaron Rupert says, Biden's son being convicted of crimes that have nothing to do with him does not mean that Biden is a hypocrite when he calls Donald Trump a convicted felon. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Meanwhile, President Biden traveled to Delaware to be with his son, as Bradley Moss says, as a father does. Here's the moment that President Biden saw his son and embraced his son after the guilty verdict. Play this clip.
Arriving in Delaware, greeting his son Hunter, who was just hours ago found guilty in a federal gun case against him. CNN also just spoke with a member of the jury who reached that guilty verdict. Let's go straight to CNN's Evan Pettis.
Yeah, that's a man who loves his son. As Aaron Rupert says from this photo taken after the guilty verdict, you can feel the emotion in this photo taken this afternoon. On a human level, the conviction of his only surviving son has to be gutting for Joe Biden. Meanwhile, Democratic Congressmember Jared Moskowitz said this about the verdict. Play this clip.
No, that's right, Joy. First, thanks for having me. No, we had a Republican prosecutor that was handling this case, right? This had nothing to do with Merrick Garland or Joe Biden. In fact, he's been found guilty, right? I mean, the idea that you now see my colleagues across the aisle trying to say this is all part of the plan, I mean, just sounds ridiculous. But there is something that did, or I should say did not happen, Joy, in this case. You didn't see members of Congress going to the courthouse, standing with Hunter, in their men's warehouse suits, holding press conferences. No Democrat is called to defund the FBI or defund the DOJ. No Democrat is calling for civil war as a result. No, Democrats stand for the rule of law. Remember, law and order. And we've been saying that Trump's not above the law, Hunter Biden's not above the law, no one is above the law. And it is amazing to see the stark contrast between how Democrats handled today and how Republicans handled this whole thing over the last couple of weeks.
President Biden put out the following statement as well. As I said last week, I am the president, but I am also a dad. Jill and I love our son, and we are so proud of the man he is today. So many families who have had loved ones battle addiction understand the feeling of pride seeing someone you love come out the other side and be so strong and resilient in recovery. As I also said last week, I will accept the outcome of this case and will continue to respect the judicial process as Hunter considers an appeal. Jill and I will always be there for Hunter and the rest of our family with our love and support. Nothing will ever change that. Finally, I just want to read you this right here. Well, first, compare that to what Donald Trump said when Donald Trump was convicted. Trump said, "All hell just broke loose. I was convicted in a rigged trial. I need you to read this now." And he asks for money. All caps. MeidasTouch says the following. "I want to take a short break from the jokes to just express my sympathy for Joe Biden. He's had so many family tragedies. His son has battled addiction. He's now watching him be prosecuted because of his political career. It's a really sad day for his family. On top of all of that, he has the power, President Biden does, to basically make this all go away for his kid. But he won't use it. President Biden is better at his job than I would be. As a parent, somebody coming after my kid to get me, and I can make it go away, I'm going to do it. I'd pardon my kid and let my party go down in flames around me if it were me, especially if my kid was only being attacked because people don't like me. Best believe. Anyway, I'll get back to politics and the rule of law and pointing out the hypocrisy of NRA justices on the Supreme Court soon, but I didn't want to glide over the whole thing without being a human for a moment. I'm sorry this is happening to the president's family." I think that's well said by MeidasTouch. There's a human element here that we can't forget about. I wanted to share that with you. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million. Let's get there together, folks. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.